There are places on our planet so dangerous, so hidden from the world, and so terrifying that even the authorities have officially forbidden anyone from going near them. We're about to see an island where anthrax has ruled for almost 100 years. A forest so cursed that even dogs refuse to enter. A secret mountain bunker built for the apocalypse itself. And a place where, according to rumors, American presidents once held their secret midnight rituals. But the final place on this list, Chitet, is something far beyond anything you could imagine. It needs no guards, no fences. And when you find out what is really happening there, you'll understand why some things are better left untouched. Welcome to Mystery Report. All around the world, there are countless places where human access is strictly forbidden, whether by law, by the military, by nature itself, or simply because of fear. Some of them are off limits because they could kill you in a matter of seconds. Others may be hiding something far, far more terrifying. From islands where death lingers in the air and contaminated zones to secret government shelters and forests, people are afraid to enter even in broad daylight. These are the 5 places you will never be able to visit. Let's begin. Our list begins with a place that, for decades, was considered a literal death spot on the map. A small island off the coast of Scotland looks completely ordinary and harmless at first glance. Quiet water, rocky cliffs, green grass, seagulls circling above the sea. But for nearly 50 years, landing there was officially forbidden. And the reason sounds like the beginning of a disaster movie. During World War II, the British military used this island to test biological weapons. It was here that they released anthrax spores, one of the most dangerous disease agents ever known to mankind. After the experiments, scientists discovered something deeply disturbing. The bacteria never disappeared. They had seeped directly into the soil, the grass, the very ground of the island. And they were able to remain lethally active for many, many years. Scientists feared that even the accidental landing of a human, or even an animal, could trigger infection. Just imagine it. An entire island you cannot visit, not because of war and not because of secrets, but because the land itself is capable of killing you. Only in 1990, after an extremely thorough chemical decontamination, was it finally declared safe. But the very thought that this ordinary-looking piece of land remained a deadly trap for almost a century already makes it the perfect beginning to our list, and from here things only get more disturbing. At number 4 is a place that looks like a tropical paradise, until you learn that death could be waiting for you on every square meter. Off the coast of Brazil lies Ilha da Queimada Grande, better known as Snake Island. From above, it looks like nothing more than a beautiful island. Dense jungle, cliffs, the open ocean, and complete stillness. But landing there is forbidden. Not because of the military, not because of secret bases, and not even because of some ancient curse. The truth is much simpler and far more terrifying. This island has literally been taken over by thousands of venomous snakes. By some estimates, as many as 4,000 golden lancehead vipers live here, one of the deadliest snake species on the planet. Their venom is so powerful that it can rapidly destroy tissue, cause internal bleeding, and trigger paralysis. Local stories say that in some parts of the island, there may be one snake for every single square meter. Just imagine a place where you cannot take a single step without looking at the ground beneath you. That is exactly why the Brazilian government has completely banned tourists from ever visiting this island. Only scientists and naval specialists are occasionally given rare permission to land there, and even they enter only in full protective gear. But the most terrifying thing about this place is not even the snakes themselves. It's the fact that from above the island looks so calm, so beautiful, as if nature itself is deliberately disguising a deadly trap as paradise. And this is only the beginning of the truly strange places on our list. At number 3 is a location whose very existence seems to break all logic. There are almost no places in the world where the government officially warns people not about wild animals, not about radiation, and not about a military base, but about ghosts. That place is believed to be Bangar Fort in India. At first glance, it looks like a breathtaking set of ancient ruins hidden among the hills. Old stone archways, half-collapsed temples, and empty streets that look like the perfect setting for a historical film. But this place is known for far more than its architecture. According to local legends many centuries ago, a curse was placed upon this city, and it vanished almost overnight. Since then, Bhangar has been considered one of the most terrifying places in all of Asia. But the strangest part is not even the legends. It's the official warning sign from the Archaeological Survey of India at the entrance, which strictly forbids anyone from remaining in the area after sunset. Not just a recommendation, not advice, an official ban. Locals insist that after dark, footsteps, whispers, and strange voices can be heard inside the fort. Some even claim that people who spent the night within these ruins either disappeared or lost their sanity. Of course, there is no scientific proof behind any of this. But when the government itself bans entry to a place like this after nightfall, even the biggest skeptics start asking questions, and if this list already feels strange, it is about to become even more disturbing. At number 2 is a place that has sparked controversy, fear, and endless theories for decades. Hidden deep within the dense forests of California lies a private and highly exclusive retreat known as Bohemian Grove. At first glance, it seems like nothing more than an elite getaway for some of the most powerful men in America. But this is where everything starts to become strange. Journalists and former insiders have long claimed that every summer politicians, billionaires, corporate leaders, generals, and former U.S. presidents gather here. Among the names most often linked to this place, Nixon, Reagan, Bush. And that alone is enough to make people wonder. But that is not what made it truly infamous. What made it famous is a ritual known as the cremation of care. Right in the middle of the forest stands a massive owl statue nearly the height of a multi-story building. At night, before a crowd of men in robes, a ceremony unfolds with fire, torches, and the symbolic burning of a human-like effigy. Officially, it is described as nothing more than a theatrical club tradition. But from the outside, it feels like something straight out of a mystical thriller. That is exactly why Bohemian Grove became the perfect breeding ground for endless theories, secret deals, elite alliances, world-shaping decisions, and rituals never meant for ordinary people. Tourists can never get inside. This is not just a private event. It is a place where the most powerful people in the country meet far away from cameras and outside eyes. But the number 1 place on our list needs no soldiers, no guards. And that is exactly what makes it the most terrifying of them all. At number 1 is a place that does not terrify people with soldiers, poison, or secret technology. It terrifies them with its silence. At the foot of Mount Fuji in Japan lies Aokigahara Forest, one of the most unsettling places on Earth. At first glance, it looks like nothing more than a beautiful and incredibly dense forest. Towering trees, thick moss covering the ground, volcanic soil, almost no wind at all. But it is that silence that makes it so deeply disturbing. Because the trees grow so tightly together, sound simply fades away here. The wind is barely audible. There are far fewer birds than in almost any other forest. And because of the volcanic ground, compasses can behave strangely, making the feeling of total disorientation even worse. That is why many people who have entered the forest describe the same feeling, as if everything around them slowly starts to feel wrong. But this forest became world famous for an entirely different reason. Aokigahara has long carried a dark reputation as a place people come to in moments of deep despair. That is why signs stand at the entrances asking visitors to stop, think about their loved ones, and seek help. And it is this atmosphere that makes it unlike anything else on this list. There are no soldiers, no fences, no missile systems. Yet local guides still say that even search dogs sometimes behave strangely here, refusing to go deeper into the forest. Whether that is true or not is impossible to know. But the very fact that a place with no guards at all can create such overwhelming fear inside the human mind is what makes it the most powerful forbidden place on this list. Because some places are forbidden by law, and others almost seem forbidden by human consciousness itself. And perhaps those are the places that frighten us the most.